Alright guys, and welcome to set 4 of the UFC WLL. Tonight's matchup, we have Machine Gun Kelly going against Rainbow Sparkles. Should be a fun night indeed. We're going to load into Champion Select as well. Looks like it is glitched already. Well, that's unfortunate, but that should be good now. Alright, so looking off the bat on blue side, we have Paranoid, as well as Hang Wolfman in the jungle. We have Hansbro in mid lane. We also have Golden Cactus on ADC and Grade 6 Sins as support. Up on red side, on Rainbow Sparkles, we have Hippo Cat, Hottest Girl Korea, Duong, support at ADC, and the Lazy Raccoon. And watch me be completely wrong with these team names, because I did not check that. No, that's the problem when you have Alex. Solo casting tonight. Hopefully everything shall go well. And immediately off the bat, we have a Poppy and Soraka ban coming from Machine Gun Kelly. And on purple side, we have Ari and Nidalee. Nidalee has been quite an impactful pick, actually, in our league. So hopefully we'll see how well this goes. Looking super stoked for tonight's games. At the moment, we also see the Corky band comes out. So looking at Duong and support for that Corky pick. And the Rek'Sai also getting banned out here, so interesting to see that come out. So what we're going to see from blue side. Just getting statistics to come up here, guys. Sorry about the music, it is a little loud. Looking at fixing that. I don't know why client decides to reset my volume settings every time. Solution gonna get locked in for Golden Cactus. And on red side, the Thresh Hover. Again, I think Lazy Raccoon actually did have a Thresh game that went pretty well for him. Elise now getting hovered over by Hottest Girl Korea. There is our stats, actually. So now looking at the blue side Machine Gun Kelly pick, Golden Cactus. Overall, he's usually a Vayne and Corky main, but we'll have to see how well they go. So the Thresh and the Skarner gets locked in for red side here. Skarner coming out, which is going to be actually kind of interesting. I haven't seen a Skarner be played in a while now. Lee Sin is also going to get locked in by Hang Wolfman. We're also going to have the Gangplank pick come out for Hansbro. That could be going top, so we'll see how well that goes. It could be a flex pick. We'll see how that goes there. And now the Ezreal is going to get locked in. Ezreal seeing a lot more play recently in the meta. If he is able to scale through the early game, usually has a nice impact into the mid to late game, which actually we saw with Bang. Not Bang today. It was one of the IEM games. I haven't been able to watch them all yet. I had an interview for university, so I've been out all day, so not being able to look at too much. The Malphite pick also coming in. So interesting to see. Hippocat actually has a nice Malphite KDA on there, so likes to play it often, it seems. He's able to hold up pretty well. And the Lux and Alistar pick coming through. So Lux probably going into the mid lane for Hansbro. So we're going to have a nice control mage into the mid lane with some burst, while up in top we're going to have the Gangplank and then the Alistar for the safety. Overall, the comp is actually pretty nice for blue side. More looking to play picks with that Lux Bind and the Alistar combos coming out. But for red side here, we might be seeing the Yasuo come out. which I'd be actually really interested to see the Yasuo come out. And it looks like we also... So the Yasuo is going to get locked in there. So with the Malphite pick, we're going to have some combos come up, as well as the Thresh Flay. So actually the team fight potential from purple, from red side, I mean, is actually pretty big there. So hopefully you're going to see some nice team fights with that. As we are now getting into the 15-second delay, we will be going into an intermission really shortly. So those are your team lineups there. We are going to be loading into the game, guys, here in about 2 minutes. So while we do that, we will go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Alright, as now we load onto the Rift here for game 1 between Machine Gun Kelly and Rainbow Sparkles. As we are about to get into the game here now. Game is taking a little while to load in. Don't understand why. And there we go. So we are now going to be into the game now here. And we are immediately going to have a pause. So, good start. Good start. And we apparently have had a bug splat. So that will be keeping us from
a summoner has disconnected.
Going anywhere for the time being.
A summoner has reconnected.
Again, welcome to League of Legends, where the bugs are very great. I've actually never seen this screen zoomed out before. The Rift's actually looking pretty cool right now. If you guys are wondering what we are using the Skin Spotlight camera tool, similar to how LCS uses their camera. We might soon at one point get the pre-animation kind of thing they do beforehand, but we are going to just still be waiting now. Immediately off the bat, we are going to be seeing a Doran's Blade start for both Yasuo and Ezreal. Going with the Runic Shield for Thresh there, and then we're going to have the Doran Shield for Malphite up at top. So pretty standard starts overall. We're not going to see anything out of the ordinary, no calls or anything. So should be a good game indeed. Looking to have some fun tonight. As we load onto the red side. Nice and grouped up actually right now. Might be looking to get an invade. They do have a nice level 1 with Thresh.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Actually, blue side is going to get spotted by the ward, but they do not know that everybody is there. Skarner is going to show, Yasuo is going to show, so they actually are going to show pressure
30 seconds until
that they are there.
spawn.
And Lux doing her taunty, her laugh. One of the most annoying freaking laughs in the league, other than Lulu. I think Lulu takes the cake. So again, pretty safe starts all over the place for most teams. Gangplank is going to take that top Crystal Spire though. Does have the support of a Lux, so Malphite should not be able to do too much there. So right off the bat, blue side is going to get one Spire. There is not going to be another Spire taken though by red team, by Dragon. They're going to let Skarner take that himself, which is fair enough. There's no real need to take that right off the bat. We're going to go right into it. So normal lanes starting, bot side going against bot side in a 2v2 lane. We're going to have mid lane Yasuo against Lux as well. Malphite Gangplank top, which should be interesting. Let's get a little closer to the action there. Kind of interesting to see how this mid lane goes. Yasuo does have a nice block with the wind wall for the Lux snare, and I think it does stop her W and Q as well. Actually stops a lot of Lux's kit, other than the ult. The ult does go through the wind wall. So far, early trades going not too much in any favor. Still got a lot to go here. Hopefully the games are entertaining like the last set was. Last set was actually amazing between Team Soul Trap and SKT2. Right off the bat, level 2 is going to go to Lucian and Alistar. We're going to get some damage down there. Luxo is poking out this Yasuo pretty well. Yasuo not trading while the shield's up. A whole lot he can do there. Against ranged, Yasuo is pretty weak early on until he starts getting his abilities in. Once he hits about level 3, then he can do some nice trades with a wind wall if he decides to get gutsy. Up in top lane, Gangplank running about half mana. Again, farming with the parlay. Luxo gonna get a nice snare on there and also get the combo, so that's actually gonna be Thunderlord's proc. Is also gonna get the E down. But up in top lane now, Skarner coming in for a gank is gonna snare up the Gangplank. Gangplank is gonna use the orange. Can he get away though? Malphite not gonna chase under tower. Overall, doing a pretty good job there, so is unable to really get much out of the gank. They do get Gangplank a little low. He is going to be forced to use a Corrupting Potion stack to stay in lane, but overall doing a pretty good job. And with those oranges, actually, he has some decent sustain. It's pretty much a farm lane up top, actually, between Malphite and Gangplank, from what I know until later on. Mainly because Malphite's just going to Q you for days from across the lane. Back into the mid lane, though. Yasuo is not going to get the wind wall down in time. Is going to also miss the tornado here, so Lux putting on the pressure in mid. And back into the bot lane now. Farm is pretty even across the board. And is actually going to get a hook onto Alistar. Nothing much is going to come out of it. In mid lane, though. Now Alistar is going to engage, tries to get in onto the Thresh. Thresh is forced to flash. Gank comes down. Does get the Q on to Thresh, but here comes Skarner now, going to get a stun up. Lee Sin is going to take a lot of damage, force the flash, heal comes out, exhaust put down by Alistar. Alistar gets hooked and flayed back. That's going to be a kill onto the Thresh, not exactly who they wanted to. Skarner, though, going pretty low there. Ignite does come out from Thresh onto Lee Sin, but it looks like that's going to be the end of those trades. So overall, getting the kill onto the jungler versus the support, Machine Gun Kelly does get the better trade of the two. Now Lee Sin is staying around. There is no ward down there. I'd say it'd be pretty risky to go too deep. No flash up on Thresh though. Up in top lane, Malphite is just going to keep punishing this Gangplank. Gets the grasp of the Undying trade. And Gangplank actually out of stacks on his Corrupting Potion, so he does not have any more mana regen. Thresh showing some pressure into the lane. Not a whole lot's going to come out of it. Lux is going back into the mid lane. He's going to actually pick up another Doran's Ring, as well as that Fiendish Codex. You get some cooldown reduction starting to go into her kit. Lee Sin is actually going to take his first blue buff of the game. Just a little late. The gank spot lane actually did pretty well. Yasuo, though, is roaming at the moment. Does have Skarner to assist him. Looking to pick up that Spire and also get that Scuttle Crab for the increased movement speed. Lee Sin, though, I'll be a little careful. Does spot the ward placed down by Skarner. Skarner is going to have a nice idea where Lee Sin is going in the map. Yasuo going back into lane, even with Lux actually going back, has started to come up with a decent sized CS lead now. 2 waves worth actually by 6 minutes. Not a bad start to the lane. Always nice to have more CS than your opponent. Lucian running a little low on mana is probably going to go back here. Lux is, not Lux, Ezreal, but I can't tell the difference between the two anyway. Thresh is going to miss the hook onto Alistar. Alistar's going to be holding the lane alone. In the mid lane though, does get the knock up onto Lux, but it's not going to go in with the ult. So up in top lane now, Malphite, though he was putting a lot of pressure onto Gangplank, is starting not to pay off for him as he is starting to fall behind in CS. Actually a wave and a half now. I have to see how well that goes. But I think the team fight from Rainbow Sparkles is actually going to be really nice later on into the game. Decent trade. Now over here we have Lee Sin going against the Skarner. Skarner not tanky at the moment. Does have Thresh there to come in and actually going to stun up. Luxalt comes in though, is going to clean up Skarner there, so kill again goes on to Lux, which is pretty good there. Ezreal does get a kill though, so hopefully that Ezreal can start going up fast. Oh, gets the hook around Alistar. That was an amazing hook there. Gets the kill onto Yasuo. Yasuo now getting some damage up. Alistar does not have that ult, and that's going to be a double kill onto Yasuo. So Yasuo now is going to start getting a lot of damage and will probably finish off that static shiv quite shortly. Just needs about 400 gold. Actually going to go ahead and back and pick up probably the seal and boots. So overall, falling behind in CS early, but is able to get some pressure around the map. So overall, Skarner not tanky enough yet to really go into those duels with Lee Sin. Starting to cost him a little. Already has 2 deaths. But look at the bot lane actually for Rainbow Sparkles. Both Thresh and Ezreal sitting on 1 kill and 3 assists. Ezreal now has a 20 CS lead over the Lucian. So that's going to be really nice for him. Does actually have about an 800 gold difference between the two, so I'm going to get that mirror mana stacking pretty fast here shortly as he already has the pickaxe. And we do see Gangplank getting his Sheen, so his Q combos can do a whole lot more damage. Other than that, not a whole lot going across the map. Lux does have the 1 kill, as well as a CS lead, so she is getting pretty even in gold there. Actually, I think she is still ahead of gold by about 100 gold there. Is going to be finishing up that. Interested to see what she goes for. It's probably going to be the Athenes, I believe. Thresh is going to miss there. A whole lot can be done. There is pings, though, coming down from Machine Gun Kelly. Lee Sin is going to look for a push tank. Skarner is spotted out by the ward up and top. We do not know that Lee Sin is bot lane right now. Ezreal gotta be careful, has to stay around the minions. He doesn't really know, so he's playing with death here. Lee Sin really close. They're actually going to go for the engage onto Ezreal. Ezreal gets kicked back by Lee Sin. Kill goes over to Gangplank, but now in the mid lane, Lux is going to get ganked, is forced to flash. So they get the flash out in mid lane and also pick up another kill onto Lee Sin. They do get the shutdown onto Ezreal, so getting some gold back there. Now about a 400 gold lead. Gotta be a little careful. Gets spotted out by the Lee Sin. Now we have a ping coming onto the Crystal Spire. Unfortunately, Skarner does not have a home anymore. Dominion was taken out of the game as of the most recent patch. Rest in peace, Sweet Prince. Rest in peace, sweet hide and go seek. So with that kill bot lane, actually, Ezreal still has a 500 gold lead over the Lucian. Up in top lane though, Malphite getting some damage on, but still not winning the CS game though. Gangplank's pretty easy once he starts getting the barrels and his Q leveled up. He pretty much just shoots and takes out pretty much the wave there, so not too hard to farm. We are seeing a Cinderhulk come out from the Skarner. I don't think Skarner actually got spotted by that ward. Skarner gonna come in, gets the stun and the grab onto Lux. Lux in not a good spot. And Yasuo's gonna pick up another kill. Now Lee Sin up into the top lane. Hippocat is actually going to have to ult to get back to his turret safely, so not having to blow the flash. He does have a little bit of cooldown reduction, so hopefully that ult will come up in time if he needs to do a TP. Here at 12 minutes, we're actually probably going to see the first turret of the game. Lee Sin's jungle hasn't been warded pretty well by red side actually, so a lot of gold onto red side. That's going to be the first tower of the game in mid lane. Getting some gold lead now, 1200 gold going over to Rainbow Sparkles. We do see the mirror mana, actually, the... Is it mirror mana? Manamune right now, actually. I always mix up both the finished and the starting state. Manamune right now, getting started by Ezreal, so going to be able to start stacking that pretty well. Manamune did get a nice little change, so it will only work on champions, but it is always on. I think it does have a limit now at what percent of mana it can be used. Once it does actually start getting transformed. Lee Sin is spotted out by a ward, so that's going to be a safe Thresh Lantern to get Ezreal out. Lee Sin, though, staying around. Yasuo also going to pick up a pink ward. Clear that out. Skarner going to clear out his blue. Is starting to get a bit tanky now. Does have the boots of swiftness to keep him from being slowed. So that'll be a nice ganking tool for him. Luxo having to be a little bit careful. Actually went ahead and finished the Athenes there. Again, I don't play Lux enough to actually know if that's a correct item build there. I think Athenes is still not the best at the moment, but it's kind of forced onto Lux. She does have some mana problems early. Skarner gonna get spotted out. Actually getting pinged out because of the ward by Dragon Pit. Skarner though. Show himself mid lane. Not a whole lot's gonna happen there. Gangplank though, pushing up his turret. Again, is starting to get that CS lead to widen a bit. Now at 16, so 2 waves. Malphite though, gonna clean that up and gain a lot of it back. So good on him. So getting back into more of a farm game now here at 15 minutes. Lucian gonna use the calling to clear out that wave. Gonna get some damage onto the turret. He's actually gonna leave it actually as Ezreal comes back in. Malphite though does have the level advantage, got a lot of damage there and is running the Frozen Heart right now. So not a whole lot of damage coming out from Gangplank. We are starting to see Skarner, Lucian, and Thresh and take the blue side. Upper jungle. Lee Sin not necessarily going to get any of his jungle back. Gangplank is going to use... Actually gets the hook onto Lee Sin, and Lee Sin is now going to get Gangplank. Malphite's going to ult in on that. Picking up the kill onto Lee Sin. And that should be Rift Herald for blue, red side here. Ahead and pick that up and probably give it over to Skarner so he can roam around the map and start getting lanes even more push. Actually going to go ahead and give that over to the Malphite, so Malphite's going to be able to push back against this Gangplank. Gangplank no ult at the moment, neither does Malphite though. We are going to see an early Styrax coming out for Lee Sin, it appears. With the Drom's Fist. Actually could be also a Titanic Hydra, I think, that also built out it, so could also be used for that. Lux is actually going to pick up a blue buff here. They do spot it out though with the ward. Now hopefully Lux now can start pushing back her lane with that Athenes and blue buff. She should be fine as far as mana goes. Yasuo though finished up that static shiv. Does have a decent amount of gold too, 2,000, so should be starting to work toward that Infinity Edge. Started out putting a lot of damage. And really I think that's actually going to be a big issue for blue side here, depending on what Lee Sin builds. He did go with the Warrior enchantment, so he is going to have some damage, but not full tank. Lee Sin though is roaming to bot side. Skarner also roaming, but blue side bot lane. Skarner actually not in a good spot at all. He's going to get Lantern out there. TP comes in from Gangplank. TP though coming out from Malphite. Malphite does have the ult up. Going to get some damage off. Gangplank ult comes in. Lux from behind though. And there's going to be a big knock up for Yasuo. Yasuo is going to get one onto Gangplank. Malphite's gonna pick up a kill onto Lee Sin, and it's probably gonna go over. Oh, again, another kill for Malphite. And here comes Ezreal with Thresh, gonna get slowed up by that Lux E. Overall, red side actually picking up 4 kills in that team fight. And that's also going to be Dragon form. So overall, red side making some better plays. Malphite actually did a really nice TP into there. A little late, just a tad late, but was still able to make it work. Unfortunately, they weren't all grouped up like they originally were when they were first heading into the river. It was just a little earlier. Probably could have got a 4-man ulti onto all of them. Lux not putting out a whole lot of damage yet, especially going with the Athene's build, so she did actually get an ult onto Lucian, but Lucian pretty much had enough regen with the Doran's blade, as well as the biscuits, to negate the damage pretty much. Actually, Trinity Force coming out from Yasuo now, so looking to do that Q auto combo, which can do a lot of damage. Actually, I think she procs onto his Q anyway, so don't have to worry too much about that. Iceborne Gauntlet now finished up by Ezreal. Now, actually, the CS differences are starting to even out. Yasuo actually taking over the lead over Lux there. And this Lee Sin, again, the Lee Sin pick. Highly contested in the league right now, but hasn't been put to full use really in these games we have seen. And Skarner actually getting a lot of assists now, has 8 assists of the team's 10 kills. Lucian, Thresh, do get a hook onto Alistar. Alistar does have ult still, is not going to use it though, just get hooked out a little bit. Still has a decent amount of health. Ezreal, though, a lot of damage coming out from that Iceborne Gauntlet and Q onto Lucian. Now into the mid lane, Lux is actually going to get both Skarner and Yasuo with the Q, so nice job by her. Up in top lane, though, Malphite does put out much more damage than Gangplank when Malphite is building full tank. Especially against AD, actually. Which is kind of the downfall. Kind of actually the downfall on the right side here. Other than Malphite doing the AP damage, they are all going to be attack damage. Alistar, though, not a good spot, is going to pop a bunch of ult. Luxel comes out. That is going to be a kill onto Lee Sin. And Yasuo going to do some fancy footwork and gets himself out of that pickle. So what looked like a nice trade for red side actually turned against them with that global Gangplank ult. Something that is always forgotten, actually, I find. Decent amount of damage coming out from Malphite. Autofocus being put onto this bot lane. Mirror Mana is actually finished up by Ezreal. So as his passive, Shock, no longer toggleable, and will only affect champions. And will only be activated when you have 20% of your mana. So come into the later fights, if Ezreal does not have enough mana to sustain the entire fight, it might not be a good thing as he loses a lot of damage later on. Malphite going to do a nice little trade with the Gangplank, trying and grasp the Undying, both of them, so they're going to steal health back. Not in a good spot though is Gangplank, as Malphite is there for a knockup. Yasuo is going to go on there, and that's going to be another kill onto Malphite. Malphite now 4-0. With 2 assists, so gonna start doing a lot of damage. Gonna flash that mastery, show off their moves. Yasuo also pretty big now, 4-0-4. Skarner is gonna get the stun onto Lux. He's gonna get some damage onto her. Lux not able to flash over the wall yet, and is going to just live with a sliver of health. Actually, the kick comes from Lee Sin, keeping Yasuo away. Yasuo, though, is going to just go up and flash. So unable to keep Lux alive. Lux now 1-2-1. Does have Balloon's Echo, so it's going to get some more damage, but it's looking a little late now. So there's now about a 5k gold difference. Break coming up in a minute 30. Yasuo also now 5-0-4. actually has a nice amount of gold again. Has 2,100 gold. So he's going to have a lot more damage coming out quite shortly. Actually, Rainbow Sparkle's team fighting has actually been really good, actually, as of late. So with that Malphite Yasuo combo, should easily be able to pick up some decent kills. Blue side just has to work on their positioning. Especially Lucian and Lux are going to have to avoid being in the group. Yasuo, he's just going to put the Q out. Lucian, though, going to easily avoid that. Malphite running a little low on mana. Again, with all that tank, already almost has 300 armor. Like I said, I'm going to clear out the pink ward now down in bot. Skarner going to pick up Scuttle Crab. Yasuo now should be backing quite shortly. Does have a lot of gold. Might be waiting just to straight up buy an item. He's sitting at about 2,700 gold actually, so just looking to add a lot more damage to his kit. Blue side though is rotating up. Red side does not have all their members. Skarner is separated from the group but is pushing in mid. Now blue side kind of has to decide what they want to do here. They really want to try and force a fight up top. There is a Malphite and a Yasuo there. They are grouped underneath a little tiny tower. Assault is going to come out, clear out the wave. Skarner still putting some damage down. Right side. Looking to come down, actually. He's actually going to go in behind and around. So a whole lot is going to happen of this. Looked like it wasn't going to be a good trade, actually, for blue side. If they were grouped up underneath the turret, they are going to try and save this mid lane tower. China's just going to scooty-booty out of his way toward Dragon, so pick up that second Dragon buff, which is going to help them take some turrets. So there is a couple still standing, actually, for blue side. They've only taken 2 turrets. At least the note is over the wall, coming in with the Lux. They are going to steal the Dragon, but at what cost? Does get the Sterex to pop, is going to W out of there, so a nice little steal coming out from blue side, preventing that second buff, but here comes Malphite. There is a hook from Thresh, there is a gangplank ult goes down. Yasuo going to pick one up on to Lee Sin. Alistar does pop the ult. Are going to go. Most likely get this Alistar. Yasuo again going to pick up another kill now, 7-0-4. Picks up the Sterax actually on his most recent back, so isn't going to be able to be bursted down by Lux as easily. So again, red side, even though they lost Dragon, are going to pick up 2 kills and are actually heading up to Baron now. With Skarner there. Blue side does ping out. You know it is happening. Another one is coming up now, but it looks like it's going to be an easy take for red side here. Lux, though, almost steals it. Yasuo, though, able to secure, so the miss smite by Skarner, again, almost costing them Baron. Went down to only 192 health by that Lux ult, so almost, again, getting a nice steal from blue side. This should help red side push in to get those towers. Yasuo. Yasuo is fed, has to be a little careful. Gangplank though, did finish up the Infinity Edge, but really hasn't had an insane impact on the game. Only 1 assist for their team's 4 kills. He does put down the ultimate to slow down red side, but it hasn't been usually until very late into the fights. The thing about red side is they have basically 2 blinks. They have the Malphite dash that goes through it, and Yasuo is just going to teleport over to the target the ults. Also with Ezreal too, they can make their way through it pretty easily. But Skarner also has the Banshees and the boots of swiftness. Does also have an Iceborne Gauntlet, so 2 Icebornes coming out from red side, so able to do a nice chase too. Looks like they are going to try and push in this top tower. Luck's looking to clear it out with Gangplank. Nice wave clear actually from red side. Skarner, pretty tanky at the moment, sitting at 3,100. Actually pops the Sterex from Lee Sin. That's the thing about Lee Sin. He's good in burst trades, but overall he's going to have a lackluster time when it comes to extended trades. Malphite coming in from the side does have ult up and flash. Blue side got to be very careful. They do get the Gangplank. He's going to flash away in orange. Yasuo now does get hit by the binding. Now a big ult comes from Malphite, but no one's there to follow up. Unfortunately, Yasuo was a little too low to follow up on that 4-man ultimate, so kill goes over to blue side. Now down in this bot lane. Again, Skarner doing his best to push in. He does get that bot tower. So 4 towers to 1 here. About almost an 8k gold difference between the two teams. Both sitting at 1 dragon though. Actually just lost the scoreboard for some reason. Unsure what caused that. Where gotta go? They are going to take this mid tower. Yasuo does get onto Lucian there. Lucian forced a flash. Ignite does come out for Yasuo. They are going to go on to Alistar. Alistar pretty low now. Is going to survive with the runic upgrade. But Yasuo is going to pick up a kill onto Lee Sin. So now a 9k gold difference and pushing this tower. They got to be a bit careful now. Yasuo coming in strong, actually looking to get some down drop. Is going to pop the ultimate after the follow-up from Malphite. They are going to get the Lux there. This is not looking good for blue side. Mirror Mana for Ez with the Bork is actually doing a lot of damage. They're going to pick up Gangplank. You don't really have the minions to end the game. So yeah, now 3 for 0. Yeah, doing good trades here for red side. Rainbow Sparkle showing up really big actually in their game back after going 2-0 in their last set last week. Actually, Skarner being a lot of the big part of the team's kills. Lee Sin is going to get hooked under these towers. Sterex does get popped. Lee Sin is going to insect Ezreal into the back, but Ezreal going to arcane out. Does get the True Shot Barrage coming out. Lucian is going to get flayed. Lucian, though, does pick up a kill on 2. Fresh. Alistar, though, is going to go down to Malphite. Gangplank ult does come out. They are going to chase out that Malphite. Actually, or not actually. Ezreal does get the heal back from cooldown and is able to heal back some of the damage through the Bork. Is going to just sidestep the ultimate. Fortunately, Lux did not put it close enough to the wall. They are going to try and take this dragon out with Lee Sin showing top against Yasuo. Yasuo, a little bit of a scuffle between. Does get the wind wall out. Is going to dance between each side. Does get onto Lucian though with the ultimate. Is going to get one. Gets another kill onto Lucian. Gets the kill onto Lee Sin. Gangplank though is going to come in and help clean up. Is going to get the kill on to Yasuo. And also appears to get it on Malphite. So this Yasuo now 10-1. Does have the Merc Scimitar as well to get out of those sticky situations. Is looking like he's going to finish up this Infinity Edge for his last item. Lux Still only sitting on 2 completed items with her boots, so not a whole lot has come out of her recently. She does have the needlessly large rod, so hopefully we can see some more damage come out of her. That or go for the Rylai's, but Rylai's Lux does not sound right at all in my opinion, but I am not the best player, so they might have revolutionary strats. I can't speak today. Thresh is going to miss that hook onto Lux, though. Scar it out. Pretty tanky. Is going to look like he wants to finish up that Sterex. So he's even more tanky to survive the burst. And Malphite actually went ahead with the Luden's Echo. He's running also the Dead Man's Plate, so hopefully trying to take out more and pick up a lot more kills. Lux is going to clear that mid wave, but Yasuo and Malphite heading over towards Baron as it just spawned, so it has it on the timer. Malphite going into the bot jungle. Top jungle, on the blue side. Does spot out the Alistar and the Lee Sin. He's going to get some damage onto Lee Sin, but looks like they're just going to give up and not try and take that blue buff, while Yasuo pushes into the mid lane. Ezreal is backing, looking to finish up that Merc Scimitar by the looks of it with the Quicksilver Sash. He's actually going to pick up a last Whisper. Again, works well against the Lee Sin. Doesn't do much else. Everyone on the other team is actually building armor at the moment. It is going to be a damaged Gangplank. Isn't too tanky. Skarner, though, is able to get around. Has a lot of speed with that Spire. Here comes Alistar. Alistar is actually on the other team. Skarner is going to ult. Flash in. They are also going to pick up a lot of damage actually coming out from blue side. Blue side gets a nice fight in their favor. Lux does go down. Ezreal, True Shot Barrage, now coming out, and here's the extended fight from Ezreal. Ezreal is just going to clean up here now. So 4 for 1 for red side now, 9-24. So that's the power of Ezreal. If he's able to survive the initial fight, he's just going to go through your team and clean you up. They head in over to the mid lane. They actually could have went for Baron actually, but it looks like they want to take this inhib. They do have the Bork on Ezreal. And the Yasuo, who's very fat, he's going to do a lot of damage. Like though they should back up. Actually, they're going to go for a push here. They're actually going for hopefully a Nexus Tower. Yasuo does flash, is unable to get the kill. It's actually pretty low. They are actually looking to take the Nexus here. They are a little low. Lucian does get hooked. They actually are going to go for the Nexus here. Luxo is going to get a kill onto it, but Skarner is a little too tanky. He's going to finish off the Nexus here. So actually, the push comes in. They are able to end the game. So Rainbow Sparkles are actually going to take the first win here of the game. I'm very excited to see what else they bring to the table, as they get the first win of their league here. And with that, we are going to head to an intermission here as we set up for game 2 of this match. We'll be right back after this quick break.
as I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door. I saw myself rise with the water. They thought they could keep me down, hold that breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay until it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. Through the nights in the rain, through the time and the pain, we stand, we'll never fall. And then at the end of it all, we will win, we will chant. It's not over till it's over.
And we're back in for game 2 here of this set between Machine Gun Kelly and Rainbow Sparkles as we get into the matchup. And of course, it is glitched like always, but hopefully we will fix that by moving this over to this screen. For some reason, it only likes to be on that screen while it's working. So coming out for the bans, we have Poppy yet again coming out for red side here for Machine Gun Kelly, as they did swap sides. Now playing on the red side is Machine Gun Kelly. And we have Rainbow Sparkles now onto the blue. Ari, Nidalee, and Rek'Sai are banned again. Lucian is going to be banned from Machine Gun Kelly and the Malphite. And my cat just decided that it wanted to commit suicide and try and flop itself onto my desk. He is now going to go see his mommy. And Malphite actually going to get banned out here, so they were afraid of that team fight, which is fair enough, actually. They did a really good job with it, Rainbow Sparkles. Now what I'm interested in is the picks for this time around. And again, Leak has decided it wants to be a little louder, but that's fine here. Coming down to 20 seconds into the ban now. And Nautilus being hovered over now. Nautilus actually one of the highest win rates in top lane. And if they did want to do another knockups combo, Nautilus would be pretty much your next best bet. Actually shocked we didn't see a Yasuo ban come out from red side here. Yasuo was doing a really good job in the mid lane. And now, I'd also like to see a Lee Sin be changed for a different champion, as I find the Lee Sin, though it was nice, didn't really offer too much later on into the game, especially as he was going kind of a split tank build with the Starax and the Warriors enchantment. up in top lane, Cho'Gath being hovered. Would be interesting actually to see Cho'Gath is actually really good now back into the meta. Nice solid safe pick. But actually Gangplank again going to get locked in here. Might be seeing it go mid with a flex pick. And Elise is actually going to get locked in here too. So Elise adding some AP into the comp. So it doesn't heavily rely on the mid laner. So we might be seeing an AD mid laner come out. Actually, on that, Elise should be able to have a much bigger impact, I find, especially early on. Elise is really good at snowballing your lanes, just as good as Lee Sin. Late into the game, she does become kind of a stun bot, but if you do get into a one-on-one or skirmish with her with 2v2, it is pretty good. Pantheon now coming out, and the Gragas is going to be locked in, so that's probably going to be a top Nautilus, Gragas jungle, and a Pantheon mid. Actually, Hui on CLG, I believe, was playing that earlier today and actually destroyed FaZe with it. Went, I think, 10-2 or something. I'm going to actually look up the stats really quickly on esports. The score, really awesome map, guys, if you have not gotten it. So now, Teemo being the hovered. I wish I could see a Teemo, but I highly doubt we'll see it. Draven now. Draven actually was doing a lot in the other game. I believe last Wednesday actually, he did insane. Azir being hovered over, and if they wanted a team fight kind of comp, Azir is pretty good, as well as defending the squishies. So if they did go with a Vayne, that actually had a really nice combo. Karki, though, going to be locked in, and Azir is going to be switched into Lissandra. Too bad. I would like to see an Azir. Azir is one of my favorite champions, actually. Favorite mid laner, actually. Just love Yellen Sharima going into battle. So going back onto that Pantheon pick. Yeah, it was quite an insane pickup. Actually, I don't think it was Huey. It might have been somebody else. I might have got mixed up there. Actually, Hui went 11-8, but that was quite a long game. And it was against Quinn mid, so lots of flex picks coming out. But actually, we might be seeing a change up. We might be seeing a Pantheon top coming out. As Caston is hovered over. Support is going to bring out that Ezreal again. Ezreal was doing pretty well last game. Was cleaning up a lot of the fights that it dragged on for a while. So Caston didn't get locked in. So we're actually going to be seeing a support Nautilus with a Caston mid. And then Pantheon top. Makes a little more sense to the Pantheon mid. I was hoping that would have been cool. But now the team fight is actually really good. Alistar are going to be picked up for the last of Team Machine Gun Kelly's comp. So hopefully we'll be loading into the game quite shortly here, guys. Actually, I really like Rainbow Sparkle's comp. They're actually pulling out some really nice team fighting comps. Didn't go with the Yasuo combo. They did want to add a little bit more magic damage to the team, so the Caston does make sense. If that Caston does start rolling, it is going to be pretty devastating. Lissandra is going to go top here. It looks like Hansbro is going to pick Gangplank into the mid lane. So we're going to be seeing a Cassidon versus Gangplank, so pretty much the same queue. Pretty much. They're going to be queuing back and forth. Actually, really interested to see what Elise goes as far as the keystones. So while we wait for the game to be loading, we are going to take a quick little break here, and we'll see you guys in about 3 minutes.
No one would have believed, in the last years of the 19th century, that human affairs were being watched from the timeless worlds of space. No one could have dreamed we were being scrutinized as someone with a microscope studies creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. Few men even consider the possibility of life on other planets. And yet, across the gulf of space, minds immeasurably superior to ours regarded this Earth with envious eyes. And slowly and surely, they drew their plans against us.
So we are just loading onto the Rift, guys. So we are going to be seeing Machine Gun Kelly try and tie up this series against Rainbow Sparkles. Rainbow Sparkles going to be running the Pantheon, the Santa Gragas, the Pre-Void Cassidin, the Ace of Spades Ezreal, and the Warden Nautilus, while Machine Gun Kelly gonna be running the Bloodstone Lysandra, Blood Moon Elise, Sultan Gangplank, Dragon Wing Corki, and the Murata Alistair. So, if skins means wins, Machine Gun Kelly should be able to take this game pretty easily. And as we are loaded onto the Rift, hoping to see an awesome game here. There are pings coming out from red side, actually, looking to try and get some damage out. It looks like we're having a little bit of an issue here with our camera. One sec.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
So we are just still having some technical difficulty, guys. We will be back into the game quite shortly. Unsure exactly what's happening here. We are looking at like a little pause here. We are going to get... We are now back into the game here, guys. Sorry about that. We did have some technical difficulties with the camera. But we should be back onto the Rift here. So, simple wards set up from blue side here. Red side also warding up here, so no real invades going to happen right off the bat. This Hippocat is staying toward the bot lane.
Minions have spawned.
Everyone just kind of waiting. Hopefully people are waiting. There is some movement. All right, so our game is not crashed for any reason. So that would be quite awkward. So, red side bot lane,
in a museum.
not going to be taking that Grom, which I find is a little odd. But I think if your jungler's going to be starting top, Grom, she could go for a full clear. But honestly, once she hits level 3 off that blue camp, she should just come down and try and snowball your lane while you have that level 2. Actually, just the whole level advantage. You should also hit level 3 before them. Gangplank is taking some damage. Hippocat actually did swap lanes with Dae Young. I did not see that, actually. So it is going to be a Gangplank versus Pantheon mid lane. Well, up top, we are going to have the Lissandra as well as the Cassidin there. That level 2 actually does come up for Nautilus and Ezreal. Ezreal going to get some damage off onto the Alistar. Overall, though, pretty much an even trade. Ezreal is starting to get some minions, but Corki should be able to clear that up with this wave. Wave is pushing back toward them, though. Elise, though, looking to come in for an early gank. Actually does a full clear of her top. And Pantheon now, not in a good spot. Actually, Elise, Spider ends up hitting the minions, but it isn't going to matter there, so Elise is going to pick up first blood. Get Gangplank rolling there, and hopefully shut down this Pantheon early. Actually, Elise going to make a beeline straight for that bot lane. Nautilus, though, is going to ward up to Spotter as they come down. So not a whole lot's going to happen there. So Elise, doing a full clear up top, is actually going to get the advantage for Gangplank. Is also going to pick up a kill for herself. While Gragas finishing up his blue. Did not smite blue, actually. Decided to smite the Gromp. He's going to probably head straight on back. Not really going to be able to gank too much. Now is actually looking to go toward either top or mid here. Top is warded, though. Rift Herald just spawned. And Elise just going to get out of there. So Gragas isn't going to make much of his roam top. Though Cassidin is putting down a lot of damage, so does have to be a little careful there. Gangplank, though, did not really do much to push the wave in, and actually is still pretty much even with Pantheon, even with Pantheon going back, having died. Gragas, though, is coming in toward the mid lane. Is not going to finish off his gank, it looks like. Gangplank is showing. Elise, though, is going to take the Raptors and do some counter jungling while she's down there. She's also going to pick up that buff, and actually looking like she did not actually go toward the mid lane. She is now, actually. Did use the spider already. Gangplank is not going to get too much down, actually, but it looks like they are going to chase him into the jungle. Pantheon did sidestep the cocoon. Pantheon, having to be a little careful here, is actually going to get stunned up there. Is forced to flash. So again, not a whole lot coming out of this mid lane gank, but here comes Gragas. Gragas, looking to probably do a body slam flash, is actually going to miss it. And is going to get stunned up by Elise. Elise is just going to repel over the fat man and get behind her turret. So overall, a misplay there by Gragas, not able to get the flash body slam off. If you're not too confident in that, you might as well just go for the flash E and then E, instead of trying to do the animation at the same time. Better off actually hitting it. Gangplank did have to use flash there, though. Pantheon also having to blow his flash. So looking like we're going to have some mid-lane ganks. A lot of damage coming up in top lane. Meanwhile, Alistar is going to get comboed. Gragas is there with the body slam. And Alistar looking like he's about to go down. Actually does get the heal from Corki. Meanwhile, mid lane, Pantheon gets soloed killed by Gangplank. So a lot more action happening around the map. Red side actually doing a really good job here. Rainbow Sparkles, unfortunately, not having the best start. And that's not the kind of start you want with a Pantheon, especially. Main thing is about Pantheon, if he doesn't get really all that fed in a solo lane, he's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Come to mid lane, he's going to try and blow up a squishy, but the defense coming out from red side here on Machine Gun Kelly should keep Corki safe. That is the one thing, there isn't a real high DPS champion. There's lots of burst actually from Machine Gun Kelly, so they're going to be looking to do some picks most likely. Extended team fights though, support is going to go a little big usually on his Ezreal. He's going to pick up that tier on the first back in 7 minutes here. It looks like we're going to be resuming normal lanes as Gangplank is able to solo Pantheon, but Pantheon isn't really in a better situation up top as he's going to get ranged by Lissandra. Pantheon, though, can do a lot of damage early on with that Thunderlords. So Lissandra does have to respect that a bit, as she is going to get bursted here a bit. Pantheon, though, going to get ulted. Also gets Q'd. Lissandra having to back off there. So actually this lane swap is actually starting to work for blue side's favor, as Caston's able to trade pretty nicely with Gangplank. That Grasp the Undying, though, lots of sustain coming out there. Elise, though, starting to head up top. Looking like they want to bait it out. Okay. Pantheon not having the best day with Elise. Elise now here. Lissandra did get a level there, so she should be fine. Pantheon going to go down to Lissandra and Elise there. So again, Elise, a lot more presence on the map than Lee Sin last time. It is something, though, they're going to have to worry about is that burst damage. If they go into long extended team fights, Ezreal is going to do a lot of damage. So as long as the game doesn't go completely out of control for blue side, they should be fine. Up in the blue side, though, Gragas going to pop down. There is no mana from Lissandra. Is forced to use the ult to kill her, but nice trade early on. There isn't a whole lot going. Meanwhile, on bot side, Ezreal is going to get knocked down by Alistar. Alistar gets the pulverized combo. Alistar actually gets hooked underneath tower and rooted. Ezreal going to get another kill here. That's going to be the first kill for Ezreal. Nautilus going in deep, does the ult. Heal comes out from Ezreal. Ezreal, though, unable to get the Q shot to go around the minions there. Ezreal did take a lot of damage from the minions there, so has to be a little careful. Corki's packages are up at this moment, so we should be seeing him go back shortly. Gangplank going to ward up top river. Make sure the fat man doesn't come in and try and have some fun with him. That's a little low on health. Elise, I'm shocked, isn't heading down right now. He's actually going to clear up blue buff. He's going to actually head down. Does ping, but Nautilus and them should see it now. No pings are coming out. Flash comes out from Elise. Q and W are going to clean up. Hull Rise combo comes out for Alistar. Corki is going to get bursted down. Kassadin does come down with the TP roam and actually does get the kill. Unfortunately for Gangplank, I feel like he would have been just better off pushing in his lane at this point, because Kassadin with a flash and his ult, pretty safe to get out. They are, though, looking to get some damage onto that bot lane tower. Actually, probably going to take it here at 10 minutes, the first tower of the game. And are able to get about 1,000 gold lead through that.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So again, blue side getting some trades back. But again, the burst coming out early from red side is going to really hurt them. Too bad. Rainbow Sparkles, if they get 2-0 this game, they are actually going to have a three-way tie, I believe. For first. Ezreal not able to get the smite beat. Smite was missed, though, by Elise. Went to 79. So if Ezreal went a little later, he could have took that. Pantheon up in top lane. Falling a little behind in farm in both situations against Gangplank and Lissandra. Package is coming out from Corki. There is a lot of wards, though. Gragas is there for a counter gank. Gragas has to be a little careful there. Wards, though, doing their job against Corki, and Corki's just going to run out of his timer quite shortly. Is actually going to go towards them. Nautilus hook does miss. If he actually got that, that probably would have been a dead Corki. Big amount of burst coming out from Kassadin onto Gangplank there, so Gangplank starting to have to worry about the amount of damage. Double Triforce coming out, though, from red side. Lissandra is going to miss the W. Alistar, though, does get a little caught out. Is forced to ult, but support is going to pick that up again on Ezreal. Now 2-1-1. Does have the mana immune finish, so he's going to start stacking that so he can be really effective later on. Now down in mid lane, Gragas does find Corki, and with Nautilus there, the ult's going to come up, root him. It is looking like it is going to go to Gragas there, so unfortunately I think Ezreal's Arcane Shift was on cooldown, not able to get it back onto the ADC, but does get the assist nonetheless. All comes out from Lissandra now. Gangplank, though, does have the shield up, does have to... He doesn't actually take a tower shot there, so he still has to pass it up. They do see. Elise was there. We actually see from red side, or blue side actually, a lot of wards into the bottom jungle there, so not a whole lot of sight coming out from red side, as red side pretty limited to their lanes. Now going into mid lane now. Ezreal gonna back off here now, sitting on about 1,300 gold. Should be able to pick up some items, make himself more effective in those fights. Actually gonna get the Sheen. Dark Seal coming out for Kassadin. So Kassadin looking for a lot of damage. Is actually going to scale up pretty well with the row out of Ages, and if he does get that Dark Seal stacked, that'll actually really be a nice power spike in the next couple minutes, but he does have to get spiking. Does have to get stacking, I mean. Gragas is going to find Corki. Corki, though, able to finish the recall there. Should be seeing another package come out from Corki shortly here. Gangplank with that Triforce actually put a lot of damage. Cassandra and them are coming in. Gets the chain stun onto Gangplank. I mean, onto Pantheon. And that's going to be a kill onto Lissandra. Pantheon now 0 and 4. Not doing so well. Gangplank is going to get barreled there. Is able to put down the ult, but now Alistar in a good spot. Corki is there to provide backup. Alistar is forced to pop his ult. And they do get a stun again onto Alistar. And Alistar is probably going to go down here. He did have the flash there, so he might as get out with his life, but unfortunately decided to save it for an important team fight, perhaps. Up in top lane, though, red side able to take a turret here, but blue side starting to make a little bit of comeback. And as I say that, Nautilus is going to, unfortunately, go down there, but here comes the TP from Pantheon. Pantheon, a little too deep there, gets bursted in the middle of red team. Ezreal ult comes across. They do take a turret in bot lane, but they are going to lose one in mid lane for it. So, unfortunately, not the best use of TP. Would have been better off ulting toward the team. Might have been able to get some damage off. Unfortunately, the Ezreal was a little off there, so it couldn't have womboed. Elise going to steal away that blue buff. Gragas not too happy he let that happen by not sweeping. Elise gonna go ahead and take that scuttle. Elise showing a lot more presence in this game. 4-0 and 3 compared to his last game on Lee Sin. So he's looking to stack. But Caston did pick up a kill. So he does now have 5 stacks onto that Dark Seal of a possible 10. So he's looking for that big burst of damage that's going to be coming up in about 7 minutes if he's able to finish the Magi's Soul Stealer at max stacks while his row is stacked. Dark Seal was actually a pretty interesting addition as an item. It was kind of a nice snowball-y item. There still isn't no Sword of the Cult though, which I feel like is a little bit of a unfortunate thing for AD, as they aren't able to really snowball anymore. Like, they still can with proper kills, but they can't overly like they used to if you went sort of the cult on like Riven or something and just rolled face for about 10 minutes and then the enemy would open mid. Gragas is spotted by Alistar. Corki does have a package up. Actually doesn't have a... Does he have package up? Looks like he... Oh, yes he does. Fortunately, I can't tell if the flames are lighter. There they are. Now they're up like they should be. Coming into the bot lane, though. Looking like they want to get a kill onto Caston. Caston, though, just going to ult up. Now coming into this corridor here. Gotta be a little careful if you're blue side. They do see this dragon being taken here. Gragas, not close enough. Unable to do much. He's going to throw out the ult there and not really accomplish too much. I think Gragas, if you want to contest the dragon, you might as well try and go for it. You do have flash up. Hook does come onto Elise, though. No ult, though, from Gragas is going to hurt them. That could have been a big team fight there. Lissandra going to put down her ult onto herself. They pick up Nautilus with Corki. Gragas goes back in. Bottom red side is low, and Cassidon with that Dark Seal is going to go on a rampage. Goes underneath the tower, gets a triple kill. Looking to try and get out. Is going to get a triple kill. Well, Pantheon picks up the other kill there. So unfortunately, if Cassidon didn't try and go too ham for that kill, he probably could have got out with his life and kept his Dark Seal stacks. That's the problem. When you're that low against a Cassidon or an Ezreal, you're probably going to lose there. So, blue side, Rainbow Sparkles, able to turn back the tide and pick up this tower as well as the gold lead. Though they are down 2 dragons, they are going to try and probably pick up the next buff. So they get that damage, and if they can get both buffs, that would be even better, as they then can push towers really easily. ward control coming out from Lazy Raccoon. On his Nautilus, 0, 3, and 5, able to get some help onto his team, but has been caught out a couple times. Pantheon did get his first kill of the game. So he is able to get some gold. Rift Herald going back to the void from which he came. I think I'm getting a cold. I think that's what's happening right now. Looking back up that CS numbers. Pantheon, have to be a little careful against the Elise. I mean, Lysandra has about a 30 CS lead with 2 kills and 3 assists. Ezreal now finished up that Iceborne Gauntlet again, so he should be able to start making an impact in these team fights a lot more. Does have about a 20 CS lead. Corki, looking like he wants to go with a DPS style build, is building either a rapid fire cannon or a static shiv. Up in top lane though, Lysandra gonna ult. Pantheon is going to get a lot of damage out. The Hexdraker does get popped, but that isn't going to do a whole lot against a fed Elise and a fed Lysandra. Lysandra now 3, 2, and 3, while Elise 4, 1, and 6. Ezreal across the wall though. Lysandra is going to get ulted by Nautilus. Meanwhile, Gangplank ult does come down. Again, Ezreal puts out a lot of DPS. Is he able to pick up Elise with the Iceborne Gauntlet proc? He will be. And Kassadin also going to pick up that Lysandra with the fadeaway Q. And here goes Kassadin. Again, lots of damage, even onto Alistar here with the Aegis. Gragas looking, he wants to dive here. Again, it is an Alistar, so he is able to survive for a little bit until the ult wears off, and then it should go over to Kassadin. Kassadin now has 10 stacks on that Dark Seal, so should be seeing the Soul Stealer quite soon. That's going to be a lot of damage. Actually, at the moment, sitting on 1,700 gold. Gangplank on 1,300. Ezreal did pick up a lot of gold there. Is going to go with the Bork build like he did last game. Holy blue Ezreal. Gangplank gets knocked over though by the Gragas ultimate. Is going to go down to Ezreal. Ezreal again getting lots of kills, getting some presence in these fights, and Rainbow Sparkle's doing what they need to do to get back into this game. Some BM comes out by Gragas there. That's going to be another kill onto the Ezreal. Ezreal now 5, 1, and 9. Gonna have enough to finish off that Bork now. And this is what happened last game. Ezreal got really big. And when these extended fights go on longer, especially when you have tanks like Nautilus and Gragas, it's going to go much more into Rainbow Sparkle's favor. Lysandra does put down the claw. Isn't a real whole lot there. Gragas is tanking tower right now. Pantheon going to lose his passive there. What can Red Side do here? They're going to have to look mainly for picks. And hopefully try and get some more dragons, maybe stall out the game. But the longer you stall out, the bigger that Ezreal gets. So it's going to be kind of a win-lose situation. Meanwhile, though, blue side, the Lazy Raccoon forced to flash away from the Elise stun. Ezreal is looking to try and steal blue buff. Unable to with the True Shot Barrage. Gangplank putting down his barrels and parlay. Is going for that damage crit plank build. Not crit plank, damage crank. Oh, blitz crank, oh god. Gangplank is building Gangplank. There we go. Unfortunately, I got my words twisted there. Nautilus is going to just queue out there. With that, your mana also finished up by Ezreal, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage with those Qs with the Iceborne Gauntlet proc. Kassadin going for the Voidless, the Void Staff, as well as the Abyssal, so he's actually going to be able to nuke people really easily. Gragas is caught out by Ward, going to have to body slam over the wall. Alistar going to help him out by giving him a nice bump too. Dragon is up, so this is actually a pretty important dragon. If blue side gets this, they get a lot of damage. And actually, Elise is going to get caught out here, and that's not what they wanted. Elise is going to escape. Gangplank ult does come out. Big amount of burst, though, comes from Kassadin. Kassadin on the side right now. They are going to go on to Elise. Gets a double kill for Kassadin. He's going to get a triple kill. Is he looking for their quadra? Is going to get a quadra kill. Unfortunately, Ezreal going to pick up the other kill there, so only a quadra for Kassadin, which is unfortunate. Not able to get another penta. Actually, I don't think we've seen a penta yet. We've seen a lot of quadras, but people keep stealing those pentas.
Red team's turret.
I've been told if there is a pentakill, I have to put on Korean announcer voice and go pentakill or some crap. I would not do that. I would just be really hyped. They are going to take this mid tower. Look, the Ezreal. Actually, that empowered auto attack Kassadin is going to take down towers pretty fast too. Sandra has to be a bit careful here. The package comes in from Corki. Corki, though, getting bursted down by that Kassadin. Kassadin looking like they're going to go down. He's actually going to keep on going. Gets another double kill. So much damage coming out from Kassadin. Kassadin is going to go down to the gangplank. Pantheon, though, gets a double kill. But the ace comes out from Ezreal.
This inhibitor has been destroyed.
Now they're going to have to wait for the minions to spawn. Looking like they are going to take at least a Nexus tower. Death timers are coming back up for Alistar. Gragas, though, taking a lot of damage there. I think they'll get the Nexus towers. Corki is up in 5 seconds. Ezreal now does have tower aggro, so gotta be a little careful there. They're gonna get everything but the Nexus. And now here comes Corki looking to get some cleanup there. Pulverized combo comes out for Alistar. And Pantheon gonna go down to the Elise. So Ezreal gonna get the auto attack with the E and gonna clean up on the Corki. So now, Kassadin going ahead and getting that Rabadons is going to have an insane amount of damage. 633 AP. With his E alone, he's going to be doing well over 600 damage. And that Q also is going to do about 600. The Void Rocks, as they stack up too, are going to do an immense amount of damage. I'm really interested to see if this Kassadin can go off and actually get a penta here. He got the quadra, and I think he's gotten a triple as well. So Rainbow Sparkles looking to take this series 2-0 and get themselves back into contention, which would be really awesome. Machine Gun Kelly not having their best series. They did have a nice start, but the thing is, they really need to steamroll over the Ezreal. And unfortunately, the Kassadin as well started to get built up, got that Dark Seal early. I'm really interested to see if he actually finishes that into a Soul Stealer. I think that'd be cool. Then you're just going to have exploding. People are just going to explode at that point. Cassandra does get the Hourglass. Though I don't know how much that's going to help her, especially against Kassadin. Kassadin will just R out, and then wait again, and then R back in. Gragas putting some BM down. There is only a Nexus standing for Machine Gun Kelly. And here comes that Kassadin. Kassadin with the E and Q do 3/4 of Lissandra's health. Lissandra is kind of playing bait right now, but Kassadin is going to have to wait to kill his target. Lissandra does try an ult there, not able to get anything. Pantheon and Gragas pushing in that mid lane toward the Nexus, so they do have to defend. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get much, actually, if they stay too long. Gragas going to try and go in, does get knocked up by the Pulverize. TP is coming in from Kassadin. Kassadin looking to get down in here. That's going to be a kill onto the Gangplank. Gets a kill onto the Corki as well. Pantheon cleans up that Elise, and that is going to be the game here as Kassadin goes ahead and gets another triple kill here. As the Rage Quits come in, so Rainbow Sparkles going to take this series 2-0. and get themselves back into contention for the series and in the league. So the standings actually have taken a bit of a turn. I don't have them actually right off the bat here. But looking at this right now, as it stays with that, Rainbow Sparkles moves to a 2-2 win-loss record, tying them with Team Soul Trap, while Machine Gun Kelly, unfortunately, going to drop to 1-3. Only have 1 point. So at the top of the leaderboards, SKT2 with a 3-1 record have 3 points. Team Soul Trap 2-2 with 2 points. Rainbow Sparkles with 2-2 at 2 points. And Machine Gun Kelly now at the bottom of the league with a 1-3 record with 1 point. That'll be it for tonight's games, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. It was just me, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll have more people when it comes to it next week. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Western Standard Time. I'm really looking forward to see some really awesome games actually coming up here. Yeah. Again, they played their team fights well. Cassidy got ahead, and there's not a whole lot you can do after that. Pretty much the gist of everything there. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you later.
In your reflection, it's my intention. Captured again, over protection, your disconnection.